Hi, Phil Schoenberg, Fastpitch Power. For some inexplicable reason, I've gotten quite a few inquiries lately from parents of 7, 8, 9-year-old girls. My daughter seems to really be interested in learning how to windmill pitch. She tried it on her rec league team, and she really seems to be passionate about it. What can we do to set up lessons? When can we get her into clinics? So on and so forth. Obviously, as a pitching coach, any coach, the more students you have, the more money you make. But I try to keep a different perspective than, just when the ducks are quacking, feed them. I've learned over my many years of experience, and I think we've had a fair amount of success here at Fastpitch Power in teaching young athletes the fundamentals of windmill pitching, enabling them to continually build on a solid foundation and enhance their skills long into their travel, high school, and even college careers. That being said, one of the things that I have learned is that there is a very important connection between a child's developmental age, not just chronological, but developmental age, and their ability to understand and to be able to translate that understanding into body movement when it comes to windmill pitching. This is a very difficult skill to learn. So when parents ask me when is the best time to start, it's a really difficult question to answer. What I have seen almost universally, and yeah, there are a couple of exceptions. There are one or two athletes that I can think of who started with me when they were 8 years old, and by the time they were 10 and 11 had command of 5 pitches. When I say command of 5 pitches, I mean command of 5 pitches. Seems unbelievable, but true. That is the exception, not the norm. Generally speaking, a 7, 8, 9-year-old girl, and I generally will not let anybody into my clinics or start working with them privately until they're 10 years old. That's a general rule of thumb. I will evaluate each athlete to see whether or not they have a particular high level of aptitude and athleticism that would lend itself toward accelerating the process of learning this skill. But a 7, 8, or 9-year-old girl who has a passion for the game, in my opinion, that girl should be going, as any athlete should, onto the field with a smile on her face and off the field with a smile on her face, no matter what just happened. And that goes, as far as I'm concerned, in my opinion, for any level that an athlete gets to. Yeah, it gets more intense, yeah, it gets more serious, but still, if you can't be happy going onto that softball field and happy coming off that softball field, knowing that you've given it your best and you've competed, well, maybe you should be doing something else. In the meantime, a 7, 8, or 9-year-old girl, the neuromuscular connections for that athlete are not mature. What I mean by that is that an 8-year-old, a 9-year-old may hear what you're saying and may understand it. But to be able to translate that into body movement, well, that's a whole different ball of wax. And there is nothing that will frustrate a young athlete faster than hearing, understanding, and not being able to perform. The last thing you want to do with an 8, 9, or even 10-year-old girl is to take away their passion and enthusiasm because you're trying to force them to learn a skill that they're not yet ready to learn. So when the question is asked of me, and yeah, maybe it's not inuring to my benefit to say, no, come back to me in 2 years, and yeah, if a parent says to me, oh, but she's all that, she's really coordinated, she's best hitter on her team, she throws and catches, she's really an outstanding athlete. I'll take a look at the individual child, and I'll see whether or not that child happens to be one of those unusual athletes who is ready to learn this skill at a time that most athletes are not yet prepared. This is a very difficult skill to learn, as I said earlier. And I can't stress it enough. Do not frustrate your child. Do not frustrate your athlete. Allow them to develop, to understand the game, to gain an appreciation for being a member of a team, for getting out there and learning the fundamentals of hitting and throwing and catching. Then if they want to learn windmill pitching, there will be plenty of opportunity for them. Don't try to force them into a situation that they're not ready for too quickly. It's the easiest way to lead to frustration, and the easiest way for a child who is passionate about a team sport, and I'm all about team sports. I think every child should be participating in a team sport. You don't want them to lose that passion. Love to hear your comments on this and what your experiences have been. That's my experience. I hope it's been helpful. Talk to you next time.